There are 7 foods that seniors over 60 with diabetes should never eat before bed. And I am not just talking about cookies or candy. Some of these foods are things you eat every single evening, foods you probably believe are completely safe, maybe even healthy. And every night you eat them, they are silently pushing your blood sugar into dangerous territory while you sleep. I am going to walk you through all 7 of them today. I will tell you exactly what they are, exactly why they hurt you at night, and exactly what you can eat instead so you can finally start waking up with better morning numbers. Stay with me, because number 3 on this list is one that almost every senior I speak to is shocked by. Let me ask you something. Have you ever gone to bed with a blood sugar reading that felt okay, maybe around 130 or 140, and then woken up the next morning at 180, 200, even higher? And you thought to yourself, how? I did not eat anything while I was asleep. If that sounds familiar, you are not alone. Millions of seniors with diabetes experience this every single day, and most of them have no idea why it keeps happening. Here is the truth. Your blood sugar does not just sit still while you sleep. Your body is incredibly active during those nighttime hours. Hormones are shifting. Your liver is working. And for people over 60 with diabetes, this is the time of night when the wrong food choices can do the most damage. There is something called the dawn phenomenon. Between roughly 3 a.m. and 8 a.m., your body naturally releases hormones, including cortisol and glucagon, that signal your liver to release stored sugar into your blood to prepare you for waking up. This is completely normal in healthy people. Their bodies simply release more insulin to handle it. But if you have type 2 diabetes, your body cannot respond to that insulin signal fast enough. So your blood sugar climbs, and whatever you ate before bed either helps that process or makes it dramatically worse. That is what we are talking about today. The 7 foods that make the dawn phenomenon worse. Foods that are raising your morning fasting blood sugar while you sleep. And some of them are going to surprise you. Let us start with number 1. Before I tell you number 1, I want you to think about what you had for dinner last night. Because for many people watching this, the problem started at dinner, not with a late-night snack. Food number 1 is white rice, white bread, and regular pasta. Now I know what you might be thinking. I only have a small portion. Or I eat it with vegetables, so it's fine. And during the day, your body can handle that better. But at night, especially for seniors with diabetes, these refined carbohydrates behave like sugar in disguise. Here is why. When rice, white bread, or regular pasta is processed, the outer fiber layer is removed. What is left is essentially a fast-digesting starch. When you eat it, your body breaks it down into glucose almost immediately. Your blood sugar spikes quickly. And at night, when you are sedentary, your body has no way to burn that glucose off. It just sits in your bloodstream. Research published in the journal Nutrition found that eating more than 150 grams of refined grains daily was associated with significantly worse glycemic control in people with type 2 diabetes. And studies have shown that each daily serving of white rice is linked with an 11% increase in diabetes risk over time. Here is the practical picture. Think of Margaret, a 67-year-old woman from Indiana who was following her doctor's advice carefully. She took her medication every night. She watched her portions. But every morning her fasting blood sugar was between 180 and 220. After working with a dietitian, she discovered she was having a small bowl of white rice with her dinner every single night. When she switched to brown rice and cut her portion, her morning numbers dropped by nearly 40 points within 2 weeks. The fix is simple. If you love rice, switch to brown rice or cauliflower rice. If you love pasta, try whole grain pasta. And if you have any of these foods, try to have them earlier, not as a late evening meal. Food number 2 is one that almost every senior I speak to believes is completely safe at night. In fact, they often eat it as a healthy bedtime snack. And it is actually one of the worst things you can do. I will tell you what it is in just a moment. I know. Fruit is natural. Fruit is healthy. And juice comes from fruit. So how can it be a problem? Here is what most people do not understand. When you take a whole fruit and squeeze out the juice, you leave behind most of the fibre. And that fibre is the very thing that slows down how fast sugar enters your bloodstream. What you are left with in a glass of orange juice or apple juice is essentially liquid sugar, with a few vitamins attached. One 8-ounce glass of orange juice contains about 21 grams of sugar. That is more than 5 teaspoons of sugar in one glass. Now add this. Liquid sugar absorbs into the blood significantly faster than solid food. Unlike eating an apple, where the fibre slows everything down, drinking juice delivers a rapid glucose hit straight to your bloodstream. And at night, right before your body enters its most insulin-resistant period, that is exactly the wrong time to do it. The Mayo Clinic and the American Diabetes Association both advise people with diabetes to limit sugary drinks, including fruit juice, especially in the evening. They recommend reserving juice only for treating actual low blood sugar events, not as a regular bedtime drink. This also applies to sports drinks, sweet tea, lemonade, and those healthy smoothie drinks you see at the grocery store. Many of them are packed with 30, 40, even 50 grams of sugar per bottle. What can you drink instead? Water is always the best choice at night. Unsweetened chamomile tea has actually been shown in some studies to have a mild blood sugar calming effect and also promotes better sleep. That is a win-win. Quick question for you. How many of you reach for a small glass of juice with your evening medications? Leave a comment below. You might be surprised how common this is. Food number 3, sugary desserts, including ones that are disguised as healthy. This one is probably the least surprising on the list. Cookies, cake, pie, ice cream. These spike blood sugar fast. We all know this. But here is the part people miss. Many so-called healthy desserts are just as dangerous. Flavoured yogurt with fruit on the bottom can have 20 to 30 grams of sugar per serving, almost as much as a candy bar. Granola bars marketed as natural or organic often contain 15 to 25 grams of sugar. Even some protein bars are loaded with sweeteners that behave like sugar in the body. And here is something that will change the way you look at the snack aisle forever. That little word, sugar-free, does not always mean blood sugar safe. Many sugar-free products use maltodextrin, dextrose, or corn syrup solids, ingredients that raise blood glucose just as fast as regular sugar. Always look at the total carbohydrate count on the label, not just the sugar line. For seniors over 60, the metabolic slowdown that comes with aging means your body is already less efficient at processing carbohydrates quickly. Pairing that with a sugary dessert 2 hours before bed is like flooding an engine that is already running slow. If you want something sweet at night, try a small handful of almonds with a square or 2 of dark chocolate that is 70% cacao or higher. The fat and fibre in almonds slow down sugar absorption. The dark chocolate satisfies the craving, and your blood sugar stays much more stable. I want to pause here for a moment because I think it is important you understand why the rules are different for seniors. When you were in your 30s and 40s, your body had a stronger, faster insulin response. Even if you ate something high in sugar before bed, your pancreas could usually handle it. You might spike a little, but you would come back down. After 60, several things change. Your insulin sensitivity decreases. Your kidneys become less efficient at filtering excess glucose. Your body produces less of the hormones that counterbalance blood sugar spikes, and the dawn phenomenon becomes more pronounced. This is not your fault. This is biology. But it does mean the choices you make at night matter more than they ever did before. And the good news? Small, consistent changes make a real difference. Several studies have shown that seniors who adjusted their evening eating habits saw improvements in their fasting blood sugar within just 2 to 4 weeks. You have more control here than you might think. Food number 4 is one that tens of millions of seniors eat every single evening without giving it a second thought. And for many of them, it is the hidden reason their A1C will not come down. Do not go anywhere. Food number 4, processed snack foods. Crackers, chips, pretzels, rice cakes. These feel innocent. They feel light. It is just a few crackers, you might think. But crackers and pretzels made from refined flour are essentially white bread in a different shape. Their glycemic index, the speed at which they raise blood sugar, is extremely high. Crackers in particular are a silent offender for seniors with diabetes. They are easy to eat in front of the television. One handful turns into two. The salty taste makes you want more. And before you know it, you have consumed 30 or 40 grams of fast-digesting carbohydrates right before bedtime. Potato chips are no better. Fried in oil and often coated with sugar-containing seasonings, chips deliver a double hit: refined starch and inflammatory fats that impair insulin sensitivity over time. Here is the myth buster. Rice cakes are often recommended as a diet food. They feel light and insubstantial. But plain rice cakes have a glycemic index of around 82, higher than white bread. They are essentially air and starch. Eating rice cakes before bed is worse for your blood sugar than you probably realize. A much better evening snack: a small portion of cheese with a few raw vegetables like cucumber or celery. The protein and fat in cheese slow everything down. Or a tablespoon of natural peanut butter, which research shows has almost no impact on blood sugar and can even reduce post-meal glucose spikes. Food number 5 is alcohol, and this one is more complicated than most people realize. Many seniors enjoy a glass of wine or a beer in the evening. Some have been told that a glass of red wine is actually good for the heart, and in some ways that is true. But for people with diabetes, alcohol at night creates a very specific and dangerous problem. Here is what happens. When you drink alcohol, your liver drops everything else it was doing and focuses entirely on breaking down that alcohol. Your liver is normally one of your body's main regulators of blood sugar. It releases stored glucose when your levels drop overnight. But when it is busy processing alcohol, it cannot do that job properly. This creates a two-part problem. First, your blood sugar may drop too low overnight while your liver is occupied. Then, once the alcohol is processed, your liver overcorrects and floods your blood with glucose, causing a rebound spike in the early morning hours. This is sometimes called rebound hyperglycemia. One study found that alcohol's impact on blood sugar and insulin sensitivity can last 24 to 48 hours after drinking. That means one glass of wine tonight could still be affecting your blood sugar reading 2 days from now. And if you take insulin or blood sugar medications, the combination of alcohol and those medications makes unpredictable blood sugar swings even more likely. This does not mean you can never enjoy a drink socially. But drinking alcohol close to bedtime, especially on an empty stomach or with high-carb food, is one of the riskiest things a senior with diabetes can do. Do you know what your blood sugar looks like the morning after you have a drink? If you have a glucose meter, check it tonight and tomorrow. The result might surprise you. Food number 6. Dried fruit: raisins, dried apricots, dates, dried cranberries, dried mango. These are marketed as healthy snacks. They are natural. They come from fruit. And many seniors keep a bowl of them on the kitchen counter. But here is what the drying process does. It removes almost all the water from the fruit. What is left behind is a concentrated, dense pocket of sugar. A small handful of raisins, maybe 30 grams, contains around 22 grams of sugar. That is equivalent to eating nearly 5 whole grapes every few seconds without stopping, because the water that normally slows your eating pace is gone. And dried fruits frequently contain added sugar on top of the natural fruit sugar. Many store-bought dried cranberries or mangoes are sweetened with corn syrup. Always check the label. For seniors over 60 with diabetes, dried fruit before bed is one of the fastest ways to spike your blood sugar before sleep. Fresh whole fruit in moderation is a far better choice. Berries in particular are low in sugar, high in fiber and antioxidants, and much gentler on blood glucose. Food number 7. And this one is not a specific food. It is a habit that makes every other food on this list worse: eating large, heavy meals late in the evening. Research has found that eating between 7 a.m. and 4 p.m. leads to the best glucose and insulin responses, because your body's circadian rhythm, Your internal clock is most sensitive to insulin earlier in the day. As the evening progresses, your insulin response weakens. By 8, 9 or 10 p.m., your body is significantly less efficient at handling carbohydrates. This means that a meal that would raise your blood sugar by 50 points at noon might raise it by 80 or 90 points at 9 p.m. For seniors with diabetes, the goal is to eat your largest meal earlier in the day and keep the evening meal light. Try to finish eating at least 2 to 3 hours before you go to bed. This gives your body enough time to begin processing the meal before the most insulin-resistant hours of the night. And if you are hungry after dinner, that is okay. A small smart snack is far better than going to bed hungry, which can actually disrupt sleep and cause its own blood sugar instability. A boiled egg, a small amount of unsalted nuts, a tablespoon of peanut butter, or a piece of low-fat string cheese are all excellent choices. High in protein and healthy fat. Minimal impact on blood sugar. In just 1 minute, I'm going to give you a simple 5-step bedtime routine that works with your medication and your biology, not against it. This is the part most videos leave out entirely. Stay with me. Now that you know what to avoid, let me give you something just as important: what to do instead. Step 1. Adjust your dinner timing. Try to eat your evening meal no later than 7 p.m. if possible. If that is not realistic for your schedule, aim for at least 2 to 3 hours before bed. This simple change alone has helped many seniors reduce their fasting morning blood sugar by 15 to 30 points. Step 2. Walk for 10 minutes after dinner. I am not asking you to run. I am not asking you to go to the gym. Just 10 minutes of gentle walking after dinner significantly improves your insulin sensitivity for the hours that follow. Studies consistently show that even a short walk after a meal lowers the post-meal blood sugar spike. It is one of the most powerful and most underused tools you have. Step 3. Choose the right bedtime snack, or skip snacking altogether. If you are not hungry, do not eat. There is no rule that says you must snack before bed. But if you are hungry, choose something with protein and healthy fat and very few carbohydrates. The Mayo Clinic specifically recommends options like a hard-boiled egg, a light cheese stick, a tablespoon of peanut butter with celery, or plain Greek yogurt. These foods satisfy hunger without triggering a blood sugar spike. Step 4. Check your blood sugar before bed. Your target before sleep, if you have type 2 diabetes, is generally between 100 and 140 milligrams per deciliter. If you are consistently above that, the foods on this list are likely the reason. If you are consistently below 100, a small protein-based snack before bed can help prevent an overnight drop. Step 5. Speak with your doctor about the dawn phenomenon specifically. Many doctors do not bring this up unprompted, but if you explain that your morning fasting blood sugar is consistently higher than your bedtime reading, ask them specifically about the dawn phenomenon. Adjusting medication timing or adding a bedtime snack may make a dramatic difference. Let me leave you with this story. Robert was 71 years old when he came to see his doctor absolutely frustrated. He had been taking his diabetes medication faithfully for 3 years. He walked every morning. He avoided sugar, but his A1C had barely moved. His fasting blood sugar was consistently between 180 and 210 every single morning. After a detailed conversation about his evening routine, they discovered 3 things. He was eating dinner at 9 p.m. because of his family's schedule. He was having a small glass of apple juice with his nighttime medication, and he was snacking on a handful of crackers while watching the news. 3 small changes. He moved dinner to 6:30. He switched to water with his medication, and he replaced the crackers with a boiled egg or a small amount of almond. Within 6 weeks, his fasting blood sugar was averaging between 115 and 130. His A1C dropped by a full point at his next checkup. Nothing dramatic, no extreme diet, just understanding how his body worked at night and working with it instead of against it. That is what this information can do for you. I want to be honest with you about something. Managing diabetes after 60 is genuinely hard. There is so much information out there. Some of it is confusing. Some of it is contradictory, and most of it was not designed with your life in mind, your schedule, your food preferences, your family dinners, your social life. You are not failing because your blood sugar is not where you want it. You may simply not have had the right information. Now you do. You know about the dawn phenomenon. You know which 7 foods are working against you at night. You know what safe alternatives look like. And you know the 5 action steps that can start making a real difference within weeks, not months. You deserve to wake up feeling good. You deserve to see better numbers when you check your blood sugar in the morning. And you deserve to feel confident that you understand what is happening inside your own body. This is not about perfection. It is about progress. One meal at a time, one night at a time. If this video helped you, please do 2 things right now. First, hit the like button. It truly helps this information reach other seniors who are struggling with the same questions and not finding the answers they need. Second, share this with one person in your life who has diabetes, a family member, a friend, a neighbour. You might genuinely change how they sleep tonight and how they feel tomorrow morning. And subscribe if you have not already. Every week, I share clear, practical health information designed specifically for people over 60. No jargon, no scare tactics. Just the information you need to take care of yourself. I will see you in the next video. Take care of yourself and take care of your morning.